We get to see these two go at it here in the winners finals, and we're getting into this. It's Lorez's Dust versus BalloonBoy's Mega Man, and the first weapon is going to go to Lorez, but it's not that spear.
No, instead they're both getting the off weapon. Lorez starting off with the orb, and it's BalloonBoy onto his boots. Opens things up with that neutral light, but can't get much more after it. Edge guard opportunity, but he's going to disengage. In position for the down sig, but he throws him back onto the stage.
Lorez floating in the air, see if he can control the main ground. Nice GC inlight, throws that weapon away so he can grab the spear that he wants. Gets away from that flame sword. BalloonBoy was hitting so many people with that flame sword earlier in order to qualify here for the top 8 and get this deep into the bracket. Again, slide charging that off the stage. He uses that so well. He's able to hit the front of it, able to hit the back of it, able to hit it stacked as well. He just nails the vortex.
He does have to be careful though. Lorez sitting here with that spear. Gravity cancel neutral signature is a really good way to shut down that slide charge. But right now, Lorez is worried about how does he get back onto the stage.
Oh,
Sig.
Instant punish. The D-Light into the recovery for the KO off the top, and BalloonBoy is ready to take that opening the second Lorez whiffs that Sig.
Yeah, that's what you expect out of somebody who is a Blasters specialist. That downlight into the recovery, a classic for the Blasters players, but an easy side air on Lorez. The side keeps this one close.
Weapon spawn comes in. He's instantly throwing that orb away for the spear and going back. We are dead even in this game as the next weapon spawn comes into the middle. BalloonBoy is able to grab it. Sidelight into the side air, true combo option. Ooh, the nice fadeaway side air. Doesn't make a connection, but he also doesn't get punished. Lorez gets through that sidelight. There's the D-Light. Lorez also gets through that one as well.
A really good approach there from Lorez with that dash into the spot dodge.
Nice start.
BalloonBoy gonna turn this one around. Disengages, it's a bait, comes back down with a down air, and Lorez loses that stock early.
Unbelievable efficiency on that. I thought we were gonna see another ground pound coming in there, but no, he went back to the main platform before going back down with the down air, interrupting all the in-air movement, completely disqualifying him from the wall touch so that he didn't reset his jumps. The potential setup here, but BalloonBoy stayed low so he didn't get caught by the second signature.
Yep, I like the charge up there from Lorez. That's not going to hit stacked up. BalloonBoy knows it, just jumps right above him, hits him with that down air. Lorez, now he's swapping over to the classic weapon that he wants, but he hasn't been getting any good reads off of his sidelines.
He did the sidelight into the jump, seeing what BalloonBoy was doing after the onstage ground pound. The harpoon toss goes over BalloonBoy's head. The gravity cancel down heavy, but BalloonBoy stays low. He's out of the way of it. The weapon toss goes higher. Are we going to get to see the side air? No, it's going to be a down air. The weapon toss, both players disarmed. Next weapon goes to BalloonBoy. Here's the blasters. Lorez on the soft platform. They swap places.
Not enough to KO. He's over to the orb. Easier to KO with, but BalloonBoy's not going to give him the chance. Hits him with the side sig. BalloonBoy going to take game number 1.
Now, without that second stock that BalloonBoy got there, that game would have been a lot closer. But even if you added another stock or really took it away from BalloonBoy's side, he still would have had an additional stock over Lorez, still would have taken that game. Lorez seems pretty collected here. That is just game 1. Players that make it this deep into the bracket are able to play that mental game and realize, okay, that's game 1. There's plenty of time here. It's a best of 5. We're going back to Fortress of Lions. Same legends, same map. If you're Lorez, you're hoping for a different result.
Yeah, trying to beat more onto that spear. I think if you look at the numbers right now, Lorez in that last game only had the spear for 48% of it, whereas BalloonBoy had it for 52%. He had his blasters for 52%, so that comfort weapon being a key tool.
There's the down air just missing. You see Lorez retreating over to the corner. Moving back to the middle of the stage. Nice fadeaway side air. BalloonBoy's so good at that. The jump dares. Another dare.
Ooh, just a neutral light there. Thought he was in position for a sidelight side air, but instead went for the quicker option. BalloonBoy trying to get Lorez there. Good spacing. Hits him with the sidelight in the side air.
Lorez might find it difficult to get in on these blasters. There's the weapon toss, but he goes for the jump side air while BalloonBoy stayed low. Charges up the signature and gets the hit, gets the KO. That's the potency of these orb signatures, and he's actually throwing the spear away for the orb. So we're seeing Lorez be different than he's played previously, given that he's such a spear specialist, but unfortunately he got disarmed. There's the weapon toss high. Can he recover back? He hasn't thrown out the recovery yet. Does get hit by the ground pound just like that?
Yeah, I thought that was a really telegraphed ground pound. I'm surprised Lorez didn't at least throw out a nair or a weapon toss to try to cover his head. Instead, I think he thought he was safe. Ended up trying to go up there. Oh,
he was looking for it.
Steal one out there.
Early theft.
Back onto the main stage. Lorez with his spear. BalloonBoy with the blasters, but he's playing that spacing game so well.
The neutral air juggle goes for the GC sidelight, nothing after. We haven't seen any major spear strings coming out from Lorez. That is a nice little neutral light over the edge, but they've mostly been going back and forth, which is why you see their damage pretty much even. BalloonBoy might be a little bit in the lead after that side air. Again, the sidelight into the neutral air this time. Fadeaway side air again coming out, just trying to play the spacing game against Lorez. Here comes the orb. There's the GCD light into the recovery. Not enough to KO off the top.
Still really good damage on the side of BalloonBoy. Lores needs to find a bigger string here. He's only really, like you said, been going back and forth, just trading blow for blow against BalloonBoy, which is not what he needs right now. Over to the spear, throws out the neutral light, but BalloonBoy gets behind him.
You see him going for the D-Light side air because he's on the left side of the stage, so the left blast zone is going to be the closest one for him there. Also a much easier combo to pull off compared to the D-Light recovery. Of course, BalloonBoy is going to nail those, but just in case, that's the smarter option to go for. The low recovery, and Lores picks up the side air for the KO. We are back to dead even, Duke.
Really good delay there from Lores. I thought for a moment there that he was going to try to side air BalloonBoy back towards the stage with how he was positioning, but instead was just drifting around BalloonBoy. There's the sig. Lores gets past it, something not too many people have been able to do this weekend.
Are we going to see any type of corner guard coming out? No, there's a signature, though, over the edge. Does make the connection, setting up. There's the recovery, sending Lores high. He actually recovers almost around that soft platform. BalloonBoy's looking for potential juggle game coming out with these boots recoveries. There is a weapon spawn on the field. There's the side air, the weapon toss. Oh, the bottom side of the neutral light also makes it. Ooh, okay, does he get it here? The ground pound, yep, there was the wall touch though. The weapon toss goes up from Lores. He stays deep enough in the push-off column so the ground pound along the wall doesn't hit him. There's the D-Light into the side air. Might have gone for the recovery there, but he didn't feel comfortable enough maybe in that moment, hoping he could KO with the side air. There's the neutral signature. Flame Sword, the front of it again, and BalloonBoy is now up 2-0 on Lores.
Need to go 2 up off of those signatures. Man, that pressure position, I thought for a second there that Lores was going to disengage, try to get back up onto the stage, but I think he hung around a little too long there and then let BalloonBoy come back up, get that pressure position that he wanted.
It's so wild to realize that Lores is here at the Midseason Championship, this deep in bracket, when one of the last times we saw him at the World Championship in 2024 was 17th place. He didn't even top 16. And look, now he's changing up his skin. He's going over to the Nimue.
Yeah, just saying, BalloonBoy, you probably won't hit a woman, but right now BalloonBoy doesn't care about gender. Instead, hits him with a down air, and Lores trying to find some response damage. It's going to be a side air.
BalloonBoy over on the wall. It doesn't take him too long to get back up. He's being very careful about how he throws out his downlights until he gets the guaranteed confirmed D-Light that we just saw happen. There's the side sig. I haven't seen too many signatures come out from him other than that flame sword, really. Oh, this is scary.
Okay. Oh, went a little early there with that end sig. Not sure that would have worked out. Charges it this time. BalloonBoy still managing to get past it. Another one expecting BalloonBoy to come down. That recovery helps him out, though.
He nails that right with the perfect timing, so he doesn't get caught by the ground pound from BalloonBoy. Setting up the edge guard. The harpoon toss goes high, but he goes low now this time. Hits the unarmed side air for the KO. Lores with a nice lead, only about halfway through this first stock. He even throws up the neutral signature for a little bit of a flourish there. BalloonBoy hits him away, grabs the blasters. See if he can punish with like an in-light. The fadeaway side air coming through. Maybe a GC D-Light right off the ground. It's going to be a down air. There's the side sig covering low, and that's a KO.
Yeah, Lores throwing out a lot more signatures in this game. It did help him get that first stock, but BalloonBoy still has signatures of his own, ends up keeping things close.
Lores over camping the wall for just a second. He expected BalloonBoy to come in with the tornado. He's done that several times now.
BalloonBoy comes up, expecting Lores to jump there, saw that neutral air come out. Instead, Lores chasing him, hits him with the recovery as BalloonBoy dodges down. Side sig charged up, BalloonBoy, great patience, doesn't jump into the second hit.
Just a recovery after that from BalloonBoy into the weapon toss, unarmed in-light.
Nice.
Charging that one up just a little bit there. He knows exactly how long he can do that to get a little bit just extra on it after the stun time from the initial hit. There's a fadeaway side air, sending Lores over to the right, but he stays high. Dodge comes through, so he doesn't get caught by the in-sig. There's the side air, setting up a potential edge guard. The fadeaway side air from BalloonBoy. He's got a mastery of that movement. There's the signature for the KO. Lores, again, with about the exact same lead that he had when he took the second stock. He's only about halfway through, maybe about 100 damage on this stock.
Really well done from Lores. Dashed past BalloonBoy, saw that downlight come out, and knew his side signature comes out faster that time. Didn't know he was going to hit that high, so you saw him trying to jump over. Wanted to hit him with the down air, but instead BalloonBoy beat him out.
I don't know how many South American Mega Mans there are out there, so he may not really have hardly any experience against that signature specifically to know how, like, the end of it hits.
BalloonBoy still showing more signatures. Ground pound gonna whiff, but Lores still swinging. Hits him with that recovery on the way up, trying to deny weapons here. Wants to get a little extra credit.
Lores is able to grab the first weapon that comes in after that, after they were both disarmed. Still controlling the weapons here. Nice spot dodge to get through BalloonBoy's offensive. BalloonBoy grabs the blasters. There's the in-light, goes for the jump side air, but Lores is too high. There's the D-Light into the side air. This time, both making a connection. Gets the KO, and BalloonBoy just about 50 damage behind, so he shrunk the lead that Lores had on both first and second stock.
A one stock difference here from a Game 4 or BalloonBoy being guaranteed into the Grand Finals. You know the North Americans want to see him get that win right here, right now. Right now, starting to get some damage onto Lores. Lores, though, with that stage control, hits him with a neutral light.
Lores does have the lead, but he needs to shut BalloonBoy down here quickly if he wants to turn the tide in his favor. Now the BalloonBoy's up 2-0, still maintaining this weapon control. We're seeing an orb-based Lores doing it more than ever before. See if he can find another final side air to end this. Goes with the down, turning it around into the recovery. Again, same thing right after that, the in light, but BalloonBoy overspaces it. Still without the weapon, he's able to get past, but there's the in light, sending him away. Lores still with weapon control, still opting for the orb.
Still not able to finish the stock, though. BalloonBoy not able to pick up a weapon. That weapon toss going to hit him right in the face, but BalloonBoy, again, finally picks up a weapon, immediately throws out the recovery.
Lores throws away that orb there. He wasn't able to find the setup for the side light into the side air. The unarmed side air, not just enough yet. I feel like maybe that was a little bit of an early celebration. The weapon toss goes down. He has stage control, but he doesn't have the weapon control. Now he's able to grab back to the orb. BalloonBoy with the fadeaway side air. The weapon toss, it's sending him flying. It's really not going to take hardly anything. The weapon toss down might be the one to do it. Maybe the follow-up after. No, Lores is being so careful here. He's the spear down air master, but he's still showing so much respect to BalloonBoy.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to do a down air earlier. He will hit the recovery, but earlier he did a down air, got stuffed by BalloonBoy with an immediate blaster's neutral air, and since then has not tried to edge guard with a down air at all.
Seeing the damage numbers at the end of that game, it's crazy that we're seeing Lores do 309 damage on the orb compared to the 218 on the spear. But even beyond that, add those two numbers up, that's 628 damage. So Lores is having to do a lot of damage to keep up and win that game against BalloonBoy there. Meanwhile, BalloonBoy isn't having to do as much damage. His KO efficiency is so much better. He's drilling those D-Light into the recoveries in on the blasters. He's using the flames for when he needs to. Okay, this could change the KO efficiency there for Lores like that. The downer just barely missing.
Yeah, I think it comes down to Lores not really hitting a lot of signatures. He threw out 13 in that last game, only hit 15% of them. He struggled to find those SIGs, which for Dusks, that's how you get the KOs. Nice pogo. One more hit. Won't need
Should
it.
be done.
BalloonBoy can't touch the wall.
Has his choice of weapon. Is he going to swap it out for the orb? I think he's going to probably stick with, yeah, there he is, sticking with the spear here, but he does deny the weapon spawn over to BalloonBoy. Weapon spawn comes to the right side. BalloonBoy gets past. Signature's coming out from Lores. The first one missed, the second one hit.
Getting a little bit more confident with that signature kit. Catches BalloonBoy once again. BalloonBoy stuck on the wall. This time down airs are abundant because BalloonBoy only has the boots and air, but he gets above him.
Nice weapon toss from Lores, using that to keep himself safe. Put out that hitbox right above his head, so BalloonBoy would have to get down and around it.
Nice.
Oh, dude, I love the weapon toss into the neutral air. Lores is so good at picking up the weapon and using the unarmed kit as well. There's the down air. He's still keeping this damage lead going. It's huge at this point.
Yeah, just racking up more and more damage, making it harder and harder for BalloonBoy to come back into this one.
Nice.
Lores wants that game 5, trying to play the edge guard, but instead BalloonBoy with that side air. Lores hasn't touched the wall, and he knows it. Gonna fall there, but BalloonBoy's in the red.
That was Lores like trying to push as hard as he could and become an overwhelming force on top of BalloonBoy. That was a great down air, a spiking down air from BalloonBoy to end that, but he's almost a full stock behind at this point. He does have weapon advantage, just a D-Light into the recovery. I was a little bit curious if he was gonna go for the D-Light into the ground pound there, but maybe he didn't feel confident enough. Maybe he knew where the damage threshold was, where he could pick up the D-Light into the recovery, being a high strength legend like Dusk.
Yeah, I mean, there was a decent amount of damage on BalloonBoy, and I think more people practice that downlight recovery instead of the downlight ground pound. A little bit easier to do. Here, gonna try to get some damage. BalloonBoy not gonna dodge at all, and so Lores not gonna get much.
D-Light side light, or sorry, D-Light side air. He might have been able to grab the D-Light side light given that we were at low damage, but Lores is adding more of it up here. There's a weapon toss straight down. BalloonBoy gets past. Nice down air again, leading up to a potential spike. He gets completely away. BalloonBoy sees that one coming. Oh, you can't just rip the flame sword in the middle of the stage. Lores is ready for that, and we're going to game 5.
Showed his hand early, waited for BalloonBoy, and then he played said hand. Hit him with that side signature, charged up for the extra force, and that's forcing that game 5, like you said.
That was much more of a spear-based gameplay coming from Lores here. 426 on the spear compared to only 31 on the orb. So he's able to go back and forth. Meanwhile, on the other side, BalloonBoy putting out 195 on the blasters compared to the 70 on the boots. So his boot strings just aren't quite there yet. I don't know if that's because Lores has figured it out or if BalloonBoy is just like, you know what, I'm really going to stick to the blasters here and go for that.
I mean, I got to point out that signature accuracy that Loras had, though. Throughout 12 signatures, hit 33% of them. That was what got him that game.
When you hit 4 Dusk signatures, like, they're going to feel it. 33% is not a high number, but when you're Dusk, it is. Again, getting away from the Flame Sword, BalloonBoy really can't rely on that anymore.
Yeah, on the defensive side, Loras has actually been shutting down the signatures from BalloonBoy. You haven't seen those tornadoes slide charged off the stage, haven't seen those flame swords connecting either. Loras really just kind of adapting to how BalloonBoy's playing.
And you're seeing the change-ups after the sidelight coming out from Loras, seeing the signatures come out as well, in addition to just looking for the next sidelight. This time changing it up, getting the turnaround recovery, pivoting that so he can cover above his head just a little bit more. There's the side air, doesn't send off screen yet. Weapon toss goes high, BalloonBoy recovers low.
Just denying weapons. BalloonBoy able to dodge down, got past Loras, but the weapon toss connects. BalloonBoy on the edge here, eats that recovery. He's going to be down to stock here now. Loras, he's taking his time, swaps over the spear.
He's about back to the lead that he had in the previous game that he won, where he's in the middle stages of orange compared to BalloonBoy, who just lost his stock. Weapon control over here for Loras. BalloonBoy's able to grab the boots.
Punish. Ooh, little outspace there. Loras not able to get in, get that down like ground pound that he wanted. Instead, BalloonBoy still sitting untouched on this stock, throws out the flame sword, but again, Loras can't punish.
Oh, he wasn't ready to follow up with the immediate side air after that sidelight. He probably didn't expect it to hit, but he did get the delayed side air right after that once he recognized that Loras was going to be jumping in the air in that moment. Looking for the gimp off the top. Not any major juggle game coming out from BalloonBoy.
And Loras starting to get a little bit scared here. BalloonBoy cleaned that one up a little too easily, and Loras was not able to build that damage gap that he wants. Good read there, hits him with that recovery, but BalloonBoy's back swinging.
Again, he's back to following up that sidelight with the turnaround recovery. Great spot dodge there to get through BalloonBoy. This time he goes for the sidelight into the side air. Where's the down air? I feel like we really haven't seen him using too many of those. There it is. He could start using it now.
Nice.
The times that we've seen him use 100 of them in a row. He only needed 2 that time for the KO. Almost a full stock lead up on BalloonBoy.
Significant lead here for the South American. Potential for him to make it into the grand finals. BalloonBoy looking for that weapon spot. Loras already swinging, covering it. Okay, getting some damage. Throws out the side sig a little early there. Loras not in anywhere near it.
Now we're seeing those down airs coming in. He does miss the second one. There's the down air from BalloonBoy this time. Side air sends Loras over to the edge. Pivoted that down air but couldn't quite find it, but he's able to escape without taking too much. Just the spear recovery, but he still is so far behind.
Yeah, BalloonBoy cannot afford this damage that Loras is putting out. Jumps, expecting Loras to jump up into the air. Want to hit him with that side air. Throws up the downlight, not punished though. BalloonBoy wants his final stock. Loras able to jump over the downlight.
Dude, he whipped that side stick right in front of BalloonBoy, and he wasn't able to punish in time. The orb coming out. There is a weapon spawn on the field. It goes to BalloonBoy. Loras might be waiting for the next one, or he just goes in unarmed. He has such a lead at this point. Recovering low here. He's able to touch, but there's the ground pound to get the KO. BalloonBoy, you need something big here if you want this victory. The lead that Loras has at this moment is huge. You do have the weapon advantage. There's the GCD light pivoting the nair, grabbing the weapon, swapping to the boots. There's the neutral air. There's the neutral air.
He knew that the weapon starving was one of the big tools that he had. Loras immediately throws away the spear, looking like he wants that orb for the guaranteed KO combo with that sidelight. BalloonBoy with the starvation, gonna again deny weapon pickups from Loras, but Loras utilizing that soft platform. Now he's got his orb.
Starts off with the down air. There's the down air just landing right above the corner, but BalloonBoy's too low for that to make a connection. Loras playing back, goes with the dash in light. There's the D-light side air. Instant punish from BalloonBoy. Oh, the side air just happened to be the wrong direction.
BalloonBoy trying to make sure he does not get caught. There's the signature.
Oh,
BalloonBoy, great patience, waits it out and punishes. Throws out the flame sword. Loras not in position. He's adding it up. He's getting this closer. Loras still knows one good hit and he's taken the game.
Does Loras risk a signature in the middle of the stage again? He's just searching for these side airs. Even the recovery's not going to do it. They're both looking for their final KO move. Is that going to be enough? Not just yet. Dusk is going to survive.
Oh, but Loras disarmed. BalloonBoy with the control. He can get a downlight, he can get a recovery, he can get a side air. Loras, downlight pickup, neutral air. He needs the KO. The weapon toss not going to hit once again, starving himself of weapons. He has the orb. Sideline side air!
Loras does it in Game 5 against BalloonBoy. BalloonBoy, the South American dream of a grand finals was not done through Kaina. It still could be done through by West, but it's guaranteed by young Lores, who was thought of at one time, maybe now, to be one of the best 2v2 players we've ever had in this game. And now he's proving he is an incredible 1v1.